In the short-term future, AI is going to help us remove the grunt work. Let's say, rotoscoping images. A good example is Photoshop's new feature, where we don't need to go and find and source an image and replace it and find the right angle. We can just tell it to replace this house with a smaller house or a cabin and kind of streamline the creative process and get rid of the incredibly time-consuming, what I call grunt work.
Well, what I also like is not just a grunt work, it's a little bit about how we work in general, right? So, for example, responding on a little bit more complex emails or feedback is actually really helpful by different tools. So the entire framework actually slowly begins to be more optimized as we think about the future.
A lot of those works that are masking things out in VFX, making sure the color grading is accurate across all scenes, all these very time-consuming jobs that aren't necessarily creative but are involved in the creative process are likely going to disappear and be replaced with AI. Then you have the intermediate jobs that are going to come next. Again, a little bit more of the design process. So the result of that is likely that we're going to have to become creative directors in a sense. So we are going to be focused on the creative process and the direction of it rather than the craft itself to the same extent.
But also in more closer future, even now in the present days, if we actually think about a lot of AI tools, we actually could increase not just that type of work, but also our creativity, because we can actually start having a conversation with even ChatGPT and run our ideas by and get some input, where then we can use that as a stepping stone to elevate how we think about that. So I don't think it's just the groundwork. I think any kind of creative work that we're building, we can elevate that, because usually when we brainstorm either with ourselves or with other people, right? And now when you actually have, a very intelligent, all-know version in front of you that can help you to guide your creative idea, that's a beautiful way how you can jump from one to another to a final kind of like a thought that can build upon something great.